I'm best attending to do it due to something sad that befell. I think a whole lot of that has dissipated during the last 3 years. Welcome to our channel inside the global of United States song where desires meet fact. There stands a celeb whose mark is unforgettable. Vince Gill. A person with 22 Grammy Awards, greater than 65 songs touched down at the Billboard Hot United States of America Songs chart, yet in the back of the once shimmering lighting fixtures of fame lies a tale filled with drama and tragedy. Did anyone understand that under the hits that captivated our hearts, Vince faced fierce battles and continued silent pain? Let's return to Vince's early days inside the small metropolis of Norman, Oklahoma, and observe his adventure to becoming a member of the Eagles, one of the greatest bands of all time, with over 150 million albums offered global. But however, even this mind-blowing success could not shield him from huge loss. The heartbreaking deaths of loved ones, financial shocks totaling $5 million in losses, and the heavy burden of upholding a mythical musical legacy became his existence into a saga of sorrow and resilience. So what virtually lies behind Vince Gill's smile? Why did he pick out to break his silence and proportion the wounds which have haunted him for so many years? Join us as we uncover this riveting story where triumph and suffering intertwine, revealing a portrait of strength and emotion in one of the best musicians of our time. Early life in a small metropolis referred to as Norman, Oklahoma, in which track regarded to drift like a river through every avenue, nook, Vince Gill turned into, born on April 12, 1957, the youngest of three youngsters, to Jaron and Stan Gill photograph a heat-inviting domestic, in which his father, J. Stanley Gill, became now not simplest, a legal professional, but additionally a passionate musician, frequently strumming his guitar and banjo in the evening. Stan didn't simply educate Vince to play the one's instruments. He stimulated his young son with a deep love for tune. From an early age, Vince's mother, Jaron, additionally played an important position in shaping the circle of relatives' musical roots. She sang and played the harmonica, creating beautiful melodies along her husband. The Gill's circle of relatives would accumulate around to pay attention to the Grand Ole Opry at the radio at the site of the rock roll artists of the day, giving Vince a wealthy and various appreciation of music. Past track, Vince's dad and mom shared a love for golfing, a pastime that Vince himself would later embrace as a child. He started out playing a guitar that had belonged to his grandmother, gaining knowledge of to strum vintage Shep when he became just 5 years vintage. Only 3 years later, he and his half of brother Bob finished Long Tall Texan by using the Beach Boys on a nearby radio show, developing cherished recollections together. Vince additionally took guitar instructions from a local musician named J. Julian Akins, which similarly fueled his ardor for song. His earliest performances were at school, wherein he hopefully brought his guitar to entertain his classmates with songs like The House of the Rising Sun. Even as a young boy, Vince pushed himself to grasp diverse devices such as the fiddle, banjo, mandolin, and bass guitar in the course of his teenage years. The primary time Vince stepped on degree, he became packed with nervous electricity. The intense lighting and couche would split in the trailer behind his garage to write unfortunately proposition Facebook names with songs such as The House of the Rising Sun. Even as a young boy, Vince pushed himself to grasp diverse devices such as the fiddle, banjo, mandolin, and bass guitar. In the course of his teenage years, the intense lighting and the loads of eyes fixed on him made his coronary heart race. But as soon as the tune started out, his fears regarded to soften away. I changed into trembling. However, the music were given me through all of it, Vince. As soon as shared from the ones easy yet profound moments, a dream commenced to take form inside the coronary heart of a young boy, setting him on a route of emotion and promise that would in the future make Vince a shining megastar inside the global of music song career beginnings. Vince Gill's musical journey started out with promising first steps when he joined a bluegrass band called Mountain Smoke, developing up in a colorful musical atmosphere. Vince evolved a deep hobby in bluegrass after befriending the son of considered one of his father's friends who turned into additionally a fan of the genre and played the mandolin in the early 1970s. Vince become now not just a younger man brimming with passion, but additionally a talented musician keen to stand any task. Mountain Smoke gave Vince a platform to showcase his competencies, mixing conventional bluegrass sounds with present-day elements, allowing him to swiftly refine his musical abilities. Acting at local events gradually made Vince a familiar call within the music-loving community. Each overall performance turned into a valuable lesson. Now not simplest, enhancing his gambling method, but additionally helping him construct significant connections with other musicians. In fact, Mountain Smoke as soon as opened for the hard rock band Kiss, even though now not every gig went smoothly throughout one overall performance, the gang grew adverse, shouting, and throwing gadgets on the level. Vince, ever the bold individual, answered by flipping the target market off earlier than on foot off stage, a memorable moment in his career. This act wasn't simply an expression of anger, it changed into an assertion that he might not tolerate disrespect and would rise up for himself and his band. Not lengthy after, fortune smiled on Vince as he joined the band Pure Prairie League in 1978, a prime turning factor in his career because the lead singer Vince introduced, now not most effective, his sweet voice, however, additionally contributed to writing songs that resonated with audiences. One of the standout hits he changed into a part of became Let Me Love You Tonight, a tune that captured the hearts of fanatics and cemented Vince's name within the song scene. But Pure Prairie League wasn't destined to ultimate for all time. The band in the end dissolved due to innovative differences, with some contributors trying to pursue traditional USA track, while others leaned in the direction of experimenting with rock and dad. The strain to preserve their fame additionally played a considerable function as their peak fulfillment with hits like Amy and Allow Me Love You This Night came with excessive expectancies from fans, and the song Enterprise, the strain brought about fatigue and discontent among contributors. Additionally, the departure of numerous contributors to pursue solo careers created gaps that were difficult to fill, sapping the group's spirit and leaving their future unsure. Those challenges pressured Vince to confront an unpredictable musical destiny, yet the band's breakup offered Vince with an opportunity to move solo. A formidable but volatile pass. He knew that placing out on his own meant navigating the song international alone, going through greater boundaries than ever. Earlier than the ear days were not smooth. Vince had to discover his own style and make a name for himself in a fantastically competitive enterprise. Despite the struggles, his willpower and intense passion saved him from giving up. He persisted to painting's hard practice and write songs, prepared to face something lay ahead. At the same time as his solo profession didn't begin smoothly, the once hardships laid a robust foundation that could later support a superb future in song career. Peak on Sahor. Achievements. The 90s marked a golden technology in Vince Gill's tune career as he blossomed into one of the pinnacle voices in tracked with a string of chart-topping hits like I Nonetheless Agree Within You and Don't Allow Our Love Begin Slipping Away. Vince solidified his area inside the hearts of fans. His contributions have been identified with numerous Grammy Awards, an amazing 22 in total, making him one of the maximum success male solo artists within the history of those prestigious honors. Each award changed into not just a medal for his talent, but a testament to his tireless willpower over the years as his profession persevered to bounce. An unexpected cell phone name from Irving A. Off, manager of the Eagles, modified the whole lot. Vince never imagined he'd have the risk to join the mythical band he had well liked in view. That adolescence, hearing Irving's voice on the alternative end, his heart almost stopped. They need me to enroll in the B hand, Vince recalled, a wave of exhilaration and anxiety washing over him. It wasn't just pride he felt, however. Additionally, the worry of stepping into the shoes of Glenn unfastened one of the iconic founding members who had surpassed away. The stress become substantial, coming now not handiest from the challenge of living as much as a legend's legacy, but additionally from the expectations of enthusiasts who had loved the Eagles' music for many years. Whilst Vince officially joined the Eagles, he found out his venture turned into no longer simply to replace Glenn. However, to honor his legacy, he knew that with a view to be successful, he had to discover his very own voice while mixing his unique style with the band's signature sound. I cannot be Glenn Frey, however. I can honor him via being real to myself, Vince shared. Through perseverance and unwavering willpower, he gradually carved out his place inside the band, turning in familiar melodies, whilst additionally breathing new lifestyles into the Eagle-class songs. Private life. Vince Gill's lifestyles has been marked by using more than just hits and awards. It's been a high adventure full of highs and lows, where light and shadow have continually intertwined. Each observed from his guitar incorporates testimonies no longer handiest of achievement, however, also of the deep ache that has fashioned the man we see nowadays. The finest sorrow in Vince's life came from the dying of his brother Bob, with whom he shared many loved formative years. Recollections Bob changed into not just an older brother, but additionally a kindred spirit, who ignited Vince's passion for track. They shared comfortable moments from practicing their instruments to playing small gigs at neighborhood occasions, but the entirety changed on that fateful night when Bob died in a sad vehicle coincidence. Best 22 years old Bob lost his existence in the course of an outing with pals, leaving a void in Vince's heart that could by no means be crammed. Bob became the first individual who confirmed me what tune became. Vince shared his voice heavy with emotion. The loss become now not just a surprise. It opened a deep wound in Vince's coronary heart, making him battle to rediscover himself. And his proposal to create after his brother's passing, Vince felt as even though he had misplaced a part of his soul, that pain drove him to discover solace in track. The track Go Rest High on That Mountain, written after Bob's dying, become greater than just a track. It changed into a heartfelt tribute to his brother and all folks that had long passed too soon. I wrote that song from my personal grief, from the sorrow of loss, he stated. The lyrics resonated with millions. However, behind them have been tears and the private discomfort of a grieving brother in addition to emotional pain. Vince also confronted good-sized economic challenges in spite of years of success. He ventured into the inventory marketplace, hoping to steady his economic destiny, but lifestyles had other plans. In 2021, Vince invested $500,000 in blue sky tech, most affected to watch it vanish in a financial storm. Undeterred, he put any other $700,000 into green energy solutions, only to lose $400,000 due to delivered chain disruptions and prison limitations. The heartbreak continued whilst he invested $600 in crypto trade, dropping another $300 in a marketplace helped Vince Gill overcome existence's barriers. Sense unfastened to proportion your thoughts about his lifestyles and song and the moments that have touched you for your personal life. If Vince's story has moved you, recall to like, subscribe, and proportion this story with the ones round you. See you in our subsequent interesting video symphony.